just like so fucking horrible to me and just treated me like a stupid black bitch. And it was like so painful for me, and everybody was like, well, you're the fucking dumbass because you stayed, and you're just a stupid black bitch because you let him treat you like one. And like, I know that the situation was my fault because I should have just left, but like, it really fucking hurt because like, I had sex with him and he basically just like used me for sex. He was like a white guy in a frat. And so basically I ended up seeing him at Target when I was there with my old best friend like at the time. And he used me for sex. He was like a white guy in a frat.
Oh shoot, hold on.
Frat. And so basically I fucking hurt because like I had sex with him and he basically just like used me for sex. He was like a white guy in a frat. And so basically I ended up seeing him at Target when I was there with my old best friend like at the time. And he wouldn't look me in the eyes, he wouldn't say anything. It was like he was ashamed of me and just like embarrassed. Which is like how most people get about me, and it was like so fucking painful. And so I stood up for myself and said what I needed to say to him. And he ran away from me when I was speaking to him. And my friend was like, that's humiliating, like she was like, you just embarrass yourself, and like that's pathetic for you as a black woman to do something that stupid.
Call all you how about Simeon Dominican, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who do rule well, teach this truth and all honesty and sincerity. Salutations to you brothers around the four corners of the earth that push this truth with all honesty and sincerity with great diligence to wake up the hopefully elect of Israel. Double shalom to you Akim that come looking like the heathen, but you are in fact out of the stock of Israel. And shalom to you Akwat that listen and learn in silence, playing your creation role. I chose this video for edification to showcase how trodden down Israel is right now, how they are broken down, man, on every level, spiritually, physically, mentally. But the things that once were will be restored back to the way that they were intended to be, the way they used to be. The right way will be the only way in the rulership in the kingdom of Israel. And one of the things that are the world has gotten away from, it's been outsourced mostly. Salakia, kids and dogs, you know, it's hard to keep the house quiet, kids and dogs. But yeah, the things that were before time are going to be set up again in those proper ways. And one of the ways that is been, you know, for the most part in a lot of the world is arranged marriages. You know, arranged marriages. A father or the parents picking out spouses for their children, because the worst thing that you want as a parent is your child to end up in the hands of, you know, if you have a daughter, you don't want her to end up with a psycho or somebody that's no good, you know, and vice versa. If you was you know, you had sons, you wouldn't want them to be with some girl that had no home training, or that was ratchet, or that, you know, was going to give him problems. You know, these days a lot of women are a headache and not a helpmeet. You know, and a lot of guys are, you know, just you know, give heartache and not husbandry. But I'm going to jump to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, and verse 17. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Yeah, she up her crying, because she say the guy treated her like a nothing ass black bitch or whatever. And these swirlers got to think that they gonna get from under the curses by joining unto the heathen or joining unto their oppressor to alleviate a lot of these curses, man. But in fact, you run into the very one who the Heavenly Father set up to afflict you in these curses, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 33 and verse 7. And I will cause the captivity of Judah and the captivity of Israel to return, and I will build them as at the first. So we're going to be restored how we were in the beginning of times, when Israel was respected and well renowned. And the world is going to return back to a orderly and righteous fashion. We'll jump to the book of Genesis because this was a thing that Abraham warned his son. He didn't want that for his son Isaac. And Isaac did the same with Esau. They didn't want their children to marry into the heathens. I'll read a passage from Genesis 34. And it reads, And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, I'm going to start it from the top, Salakia. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. So she went out to, see the daughters of these Hamites, man. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite prince of the country, saw her and took her and lay with her and defiled her. And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace till they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it. And the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel, in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. So our women never was to associate with the men of the other nations, man. Because if you get pregnant by them, you bring in to the world your enemy. And yes, it's a double standard, because if the women of the other nations bring in an Israelite into the world, that's accounted as them really doing the good deed, because we are the chosen people. So it's it's a double standard, but still the Lord set it up that way. Whatever child that the Israelite man spew out is going to be an Israelite, no matter who the mother is. But if an Israelite woman take seed from another nation, she's going to bring in to the earth that other nation, which that was never to be done in Israel. Verse 8, and Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you, give her him to wife, and make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you, and ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you, dwell and trade you therein, and get you possessions therein. And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me I will give. Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye ask. As ye shall say, Salaki, as ye shall say unto me. But give the damsel to wife. And the son of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah their sister. And they said unto them, we cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. But in this we will consent unto you, if you will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. And then they go on to make a false covenant with them, saying that if y'all circumcised, then we'll okay this. But Simeon and Levi, Simeon, which would be the West Indian people, people from Trinidad and things, that's Simeon. And Levi, those today would be known as the Haitians. So those were the progenitors of those two tribes, the Haitians and the West Indians, so-called. But they wasn't having that, man. They was still mad that this dude defiled their sister, so they went and killed all of them, man, and took their wives and children as captives, man. And Jake the same way to this day, man. You can't mess with Jake's sister and think you finna get away with it, for the most part. But yeah, man, it was a known thing, man. You not finna, nah, man. Y'all was heathens, man. That's why they wasn't circumcised, because they were heathens. And that was a thing not to be done. And now today, as you see on the screen, man, our women get with all the heathens, man, thinking that they gonna be doing something better because these heathens are have gotten up above us. But guess what? It still ends in tears and sorrows.
He's just so fucking horrible to me, and just treated me like a stupid black bitch. And it was so,
because he's your enemy.
Painful for me, and everybody was like, well, you're the fucking dumbass because you stayed, and you're just a stupid black bitch because you let him treat you like one. And I know that the situation was my fault because I should have just left, but it really fucking hurt because I had sex with him and he basically just used me for sex. He was white guy in a frat, and so
because that's their fetish, to get a piece of you, because that's a desire for them. You know how people long and desire for something that they never could have or could do, or could, things they never could do. When they get the chance, they do it. And then it's done and over with. But it's a reason for these scriptures, man. For us to move a certain way. For us to take heed to these words, man. It's written to us, from us, man. If that makes sense.
Basically, I ended up seeing him at Target when I was there with my old best friend, like, at the time. And he wouldn't look me in the eyes. He wouldn't say anything. It was like he was ashamed of me and just like embarrassed. Which is like how most people get about me, and it was like so fucking painful.
This is Exodus chapter 23 and verse 32. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in the land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee. But this is one of the things that's going to be put back in order, man. Our women ain't going to desire to be with no other nation. All the other nations' women are going to desire to be with us, the Israelite men, from their specific, from each tribe. These other nations, they're going to desire to bring us their daughters, to be with the righteous men of the earth, man, the righteous rulers of the earth, man. See, right now, our women think that, and a lot of these women of the nations think that getting with Sleazy E is going to bring them some type of gratification. And it may bring you a little status. You may have, some of the finer things in life, but you're going to feel just like this Eve right here. Low as fuck. Because that's a thing that ought not to be done. Hope this was an edifying lesson. I'm going to say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and Bible Bar.